Alright, so we're going to be simplifying these expressions using the multiplication rule and maybe even the negative and zero rule. Alright, so everything we keep on learning, we're just going to add on to it. Alright, so the first question, A, 3 raised to the fourth times 3 raised to the second. So just to make sure we understand that we're taking all of this, 3 raised to the fourth times 3 raised to the second, right? Same bases, 3, 3, so that means we can multiply these two, right? If we multiply these two and these exponents are inside, all we got to do is take these and then add it. So we have 3, 4 plus 2, and that gives us 3 raised to the 6. Alright, and 3 raised to the 6 is 729. It's a big ass number. 729. Alright, next question. We have s to the fifth times s to the second. So again, same bases. Alright, if they're the same bases and they're being multiplied, we take these two and then we add it. So this is going to be s5 plus 2, which is going to be s to the 7th. Alright, we don't have to simplify anything more. It's just a variable raised to the 7th. You're good. Next question. We have 2 raised to the 4th times 2 raised to the 6th times 2 raised to the 2nd. All same bases. As in 2, 2, 2, we're good to go. So we're going to take each one of these exponents and then we're going to add it. So 2 is our base. We're going to do 4 plus the 6 plus the 2. Alright, that's going to give you 2, 10, 12. So 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And that, my friends, are going to be, 4,900, or 4,096. Alright? The next question, we have x raised to the 8th times x. Alright, so if you just see a variable or just a number and it's not raised to anything, just think of it as it being raised to 1. Right? Again, that 1 is invisible. We don't really write it, but know that it's there. So we have x as our base, x as our base. So it's the same. We're going to multiply these. So what that means is the exponents we're actually going to add. So we have x, 8 plus 1, which is x to the 9th, and you're done. Next question. We have 2 times x squared times 3 times x to the 3rd. Right? In this case, these 2 and 3 are leading coefficients, right? So all you gotta do is take those and multiply. So 2 times 3 is 6, right? The x's are the same bases. This and this are the same, so we're gonna take these two numbers and then add it because they're inside the parentheses, right? So we have x2 plus 3. That's gonna give you 6x to the 5th. So it gets longer and longer, more complicated and more difficult. So next one, we have 5a to the 5th times b. All of this times 3a to the 2nd, b to the 2nd. Alright? Again, these two numbers, 5 and 3, we're just going to multiply. So that's 15. Right? That's that. 15. Here we're going to take a, and with the same base a over here, we're going to multiply these two. And what that means is if these exponents are inside the parentheses, right, then we're going to add that. So we have a 5 plus 2. Alright. B, we have the same base over here. So again, this one is a 1, right? It has nothing on there. So it's going to be a 1. We're going to take that 1 and then add it to this one right here. So it's going to be B 1 plus 2. So let's simplify that. That's 15. A 5 plus 2 is 7. B 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's it. Alright. So make sure you guys understand this one because you guys will definitely see something like this more and more. Again, hit rewind or something, go back and rewatch this one again. Next question. We have x to the 7 raised to the negative 2. Alright, so now there's a couple ways of doing this. Let's just go using the rules that we just learned. Alright, so first off, 7's inside the parentheses, negative 2 is outside of the parentheses, right? If it's outside of the parentheses, what we're going to do with these two, we're actually going to multiply. Alright? Think of it as when you have 2x plus 1, right? This is outside of the parentheses, so we multiply this, right? We distribute it. Kind of the same concept right here. This is outside of the parentheses. We're going to take it and we're going to distribute it. All right? So we take this, we multiply to that, so it's x 7 times negative 2, which is x negative 14, right? But then now let's think about our first video. This negative 14, we can't have that, right? And we're going to think that this is kind of like over 1, right? This negative 14, we got to change it, so this whole thing, we got to put it on the bottom because it's already on top. We need that negative to go away, so we got to put it on the bottom. Your answer is going to look like x to the 14. Alright? So don't worry if you guys don't get this now. In class, we're going to do the worksheets. We're going to do it together, as in you guys are going to try it. I'm going to help you guys out. Alright? So don't worry too much. We have b times b raised to the negative 8 times negative, or raised to the negative 3, right? B right here, it's not being raised to anything, so I'm just going to write down b right here. This negative 8 is inside, negative 3 is outside, so inside, outside, we're going to distribute that, multiply. So we have b negative 8 times negative 3. Alright, so that's b times negative 8 times negative 3 is b 24. Alright, so now look at this. We have b raised to the first power, right? Again, if they don't write it, it's to the first power times b to the 24th. So if we're multiplying these, and these are inside the parentheses, which they are, what do we do with these two? We're going to add them. So b 1 plus 24, and that equals b to the 25th. Alright? I know it's getting complicated, so please remember all your rules. Have them out in front of you so you don't forget. Alright, so this one, it gets a little trickier. Let me write this a little bit bigger. 3 times a squared to the third power. Alright, so again, there's an exponent on the outside of the parentheses, right? We got to multiply to everything inside. So here, this exponent is a 1, right? 3 raised to the 1 is 3, so that's why I don't really write that 1, but know that it's a 1. This exponent on the outside, you're going to multiply it with every exponent inside. Alright, so listen to me carefully. You're going to take the exponent outside, multiply to every exponent inside. Alright, not the number, the exponent. So that first part right here, 3 times 1, that's going to be 3 to the third. This one, 3 times 2, that's going to be a to the 6th. Alright, so 3 times to the, or 3 third is, I'm sorry, 3 raised to the third is 27. A to the 6th, you can't really simplify that, and that's your answer. Alright, so here's another example. I'm going to rewrite this just a little bigger. X to the 4th raised to the 4th. Again, outside, right? We're going to take this 4 out here, multiply it to everything inside, as in every exponent inside. What exponent does 2 have? Of course, it's the 1. Again, if they don't write it, just put a 1 there. It's given, all right? So 4 times 1, so that's 2 to the 4th, all right? 4 times 4, that's x to the 16th, all right? Let me actually write that out, just so you guys see. So 2, 1 times 4, x 4 times 4, all right? So that's going to be 2 to the 4th, x to the 16th, right? And 2 raised to the 4th is also 16, so this is going to equal 16x to the 16th. All right? So these questions just get harder and harder. This, I'm going to write it a little bit bigger. Again, 2a to the 4th, b to the 2nd, raised to the 3rd. And again, outside, right? Multiply to every exponent inside. This exponent is a 1. So multiply, multiply, multiply. So I'm not going to write it like this over here. I'm just going to simplify it as I go. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. Alright? So 2 to the 3rd power, that's 8. A12 we can't simplify anymore. B raised to the 6th, we can't simplify that anymore either. Alright? So this is your answer. Last one over here. We have x to the 4th. And again, I'm going to write it bigger just so you can see it better. raised to the second. So all this raised to the second, again, outside exponent, right? Multiply to every exponent inside. So x, 4 times 2 is 8. Y, 3 times 2 is 6. And we're done. Alright? So again, make sure you guys understand this. Go back, rewatch it, write down these examples, because you guys will definitely see these kind of examples on the homework quiz and test.